Hey, what's going on, guys? Kalamazi here, and today I unfortunately have to talk to you about a stealth nerf that hit Hellcaller, both Affliction and Destruction, and I guess tonight, last night's whatever, hot fixes. Now, we're not sure if this is an intended stealth nerf or one that just happened with coding changes. I don't know. Blizzard fixed Wither, or they worked on it. It was not being affected by Death's Embrace. However, they put an internal cooldown on Wither's Blackened Soul stat count, which makes a pretty big difference when it comes to Raptures, Rain of Fires, Chaos Bolts, Shadow Burns, your shark consuming spells in single target and AoE. It's certainly a nerf to Hellcaller, not what we wanted to see, especially this close to the raid coming out, but if you live the life of a Warlock, well, we're sort of used to it at this point, but jokes aside, we're hoping it's not going to be an actual thing, and just like maybe a bug to happen, but we'll see. So, yeah, not much Sims here, so I'm going to go over the gameplay and talk about it a bit, but yeah, I don't know, let's do it. Alright, so this evening there were a couple hotfixes pushed to Warlock on retail. Now there are two here. The first one, Diabolist, fixed an issue where you cannot queue Hand of Gul'dan while casting Ruination. There is that, nice change. A handful of these were, well, these are both in the bug sheet you posted in the video yesterday, but probably been out there for a while. Number two, fixed an issue where Wither did not benefit from Death's Embrace. This is a pretty big one too, as well, which we talked about last night in the video. My hope is that maybe somehow, some way, somewhere, I don't know, this change or some other change they're trying to do with Wither broke the stacking effect of Blackened Soul and all that. So we're going to go over what Blackened Soul is here briefly and then go through like some combat and go from there. Okay, so let me just swap to Hellcaller AoE here. So when it comes to Hellcaller, both Affliction and Destruction, Blackened Soul is basically this part of the tree here. Wither itself is your dot. Those that don't know, it replaces Immolate and it replaces Corruption for Destruction and Affliction, respectively. Blackened Soul right below it. Spending soul shards on damaging spells will further corrupt enemies affected by your Wither, increasing its stat count by 1. So whenever you spend shards, it further corrupts enemies that have Wither on them, increasing the stat count on all targets by 1 whenever you spend shards. We'll do it here. So here, for example, put up Wither, cast a Rain of Fire, give it a few seconds here, whatever. Rain of Fire, stacks. There's actually 2 there, which is very cool, but we'll get into that in a minute. So whenever you spend shards, you increase the stat count of your Wither by 1. Each time Wither gains a stack, it has a chance to collapse. It used to be called acute. It will collapse, consuming a stack every 1 second to deal damage to its host until 1 stack remains. If you spend, and also for all the Withers you have active, if you have 1,000 Withers active and spend shards, they'll all gain 1 stack whenever you spend shards. That's how Blackened Soul works. Now below, we have a note here called Bleakheart Tactics and Hate Fury Rituals. Hate Fury just makes Wither do more damage. Bleakheart does more damage but less than Hate Fury. When Wither gains a stack from Blackened Soul, it has a chance to gain an additional stack. So the issue, how do I word this? They've changed Wither. This is like the undocumented nerf to only be able to accrue stacks once every 5 seconds. So for example, I'll show you right here. Let me build some shards first. I'm playing, it's fine. Sure, we'll do this. So I'll cast some spells here, cast an Incinerate, whatever, put up a Wither. Right, I'm gonna cast a bolt here, so I'll consume shards casting this bolt. I gain stacks. Bolt again. More shards spent. No stacks. Keep going here. Cast the bolt now. Stacks. So there's like a 5-second internal cooldown on whenever Wither can accrue stacks, which is very bad and a very large change to Wither with T-minus, I don't know what, 72 hours till the raid opens. These kind of changes, I don't think it's intentional. These kind of changes that are going to be made need to be made during alpha or beta or way early on, so you can buff things in a way to make it, a compensation buff. But honestly, this sort of breaks a lot of the fun and excitement and enjoyment of what Hellcaller actually is, which is, based around Wither. So it affects Bleakheart Tactics because, when you're spamming Rain of Fires AoE or casting Raptures back to back to back or dumping Shadow Burns or Chaos Bolts or whatever, right? You'll do that quite often in succession. more often than once every 5 seconds. So if we give a chance before to trigger Bleak Heart Tactics multiple times in a row before there was no 5-second ICD on this. Then on top of all that, we have seeds here. When Wither reaches 8 stacks, or when its host reaches 20%, it becomes acute, or so it deals damage, basically. It reduces in stack count, right? When Blackened Soul deals damage, you have a chance to gain 2 stacks of Flashpoint. For Affliction, that is a stack of Tormented Crescendo. So, because you can't accrue as many Blackened Soul stacks, you have a lower uptime on Seeds of their Demise, whether it's Flashpoint or TC procs. Now, sort of rounding this all up and holding it all together is your final ability here, which is called Malevolence. And Malevolence in this final paragraph gives you haste, and spending soul shards on damaging spells grants 1 additional stack of Wither. So basically, it sort of takes Blackened Soul and says, hey, when this is active, you're going to get 2 stacks of Wither, whatever, whenever you spend shards on a damaging ability. Rain of Fire, Shadow Burn, Chaos Bolt, Rapture, whatever, right? When this is active. Outside of that, you're going to get a normal 1, just from Blackened Soul being the way that it is. So, not only does this make just, in general, Blackened Soul much worse than anything else, it makes Malevolence worse as well. Malevolence also grants 6 stacks to Wither whenever you pop the ability. Now, I've seen conflicting reports. I've seen some saying that Malevolence counts towards the ICD, some saying that it doesn't. It doesn't seem to count for me here. So, for example, I'll put up my Wither, I'll pop Malevolence, here come the stacks, 7, 6, I'll cast a Rain of Fire. Rain of Fire. And it adds stacks there. So I believe it's the first shard-consuming spell or ability that you cast after your Malevolence that actually, triggers like the 5-second ICD. But we're going to look at it here in a minute. We're going to do it in a second here, actually, in combat and single target and AoE. And show you all that there is indeed, unfortunately, it looks to be around a 5-second ICD on gaining Wither stacks. And unfortunately, when it comes to like mass AoE with Destra, spamming Rain of Fire, all that kind of stuff, you would often accrue pretty high stacks of Blackened Soul, which would be a large portion of your damage on a trash pack. But Destra's AoE is still subpar. It doesn't really excel at any one thing in the game, and this nerf hurts Destra's AoE. It hurts a single target if you're playing Hellcaller. Same with AF. This hurts AF's AoE when it comes to, Hellcaller Affliction with a plus, when you're, putting out your damage and casting Soul Rot, getting Dark Harvest buff, and just spamming Raptures and accruing stacks. It hurts it a lot. Before, you could basically go into a pack, put out your Withers, pop Malevolence, cast a spell, and it would trigger the collapsing effect of them, which is right here. And then you could keep casting Rain of Fires or Raptures to keep adding stacks to that, so they continue collapsing, reducing in stack count, but then gaining some from your shard spending spells like, Rapture or Rain of Fire. A really, really cool interaction. It made Hellcaller feel really good. And Blackened Soul felt great. It felt very synergistic, but unfortunately, this change sort of breaks all that. We're hoping it's a bug. So we're going to do it here to show you very briefly in single target. I'll do it in AoE as well in a minute. Here, I'm not going to cast Infernal. I'm going to hold for this, but whatever. It's the same thing. Open up here, cast Soulfire. I'm not playing a full single target build here. Doesn't matter. So we're going to cast Soulfire, which will apply Wither. I'm going to cast a Conflagrate. I'm going to build some shards here to show you guys. Pop Malevolence. Watch that count here. Goes to 7. Might drop a little bit. Whatever. You can see it dropping here, right? Cast Chaos Bolt, which will add stacks to 5, then Bolt again. No stacks. Bolt again here. Might get a stack here. Probably do. Yep, that's because that window passed. If you bolt again, I can get some shards here. Might get stacks here. 5 seconds passed. But if we chain multiple Chaos Bolts together, and build some shards here and show you guys, if we go like Chaos Bolt, Conflagrate, Chaos Bolt, we're not going to accrue those stacks back to back to back. So for example, once again, let's build some shards here. Reapply Wither. We're going to go Chaos Bolt, Conflagrate. So we got some stacks there. Chaos Bolt, no stacks. Incinerate. This bolt might accrue stacks here. It did. But if you chain these shard consuming spells back to back to back, you're not going to get refunds. Or you're not going to get those, back-to-back stacks every single time. I'll show you an AoE. It's sort of hard to see here because Chaos Bolt's cast time and all that. I can do it with Shadow Burn, actually, too. Let me just pop talents here real fast. We can do it with Shadow Burn. What do I not want here? Leave combat, please. Leave combat, please. Leave combat, please. Dude, Warlock dummy testing is the biggest pain in the world, I swear to you. So, for example, we can go into Shadow Burn here, right? So we're going to go into Shadow Burn. I am playing it now. We're going to do this. Put up Wither. Right into combat. So pop Malevolence here. You have stacks. I'm going to cast a Bolt first. We're going to Bolt, Gain stacks here. Shadowburn, no stacks. Shadowburn, no stacks. Yeah. So those 2 Shadowburns would have pushed from 2 to 4, and then 4 to 6. But instead, we're at 2 and then 0, basically. So yeah, it's quite the change. We'll look at it here in AoE as well. Let me just change back to Hellcaller AoE or whatever. I'm playing Kata, but I'll change to Inferno for this for, you know, more Random Fire cast. It's something. It really just feels, it's not as exciting at all as it used to be. Nowhere near as exciting. So we're gonna go in here. We'll look at AF also in a minute here as well. I'm not playing Kata, so put up some dots, put up some withers, whatever. Tanks around the pack up, put up some withers, whatever. 1, 2. Watch the stat counts of them when I pop Malevolence and start casting Random Fire. So Malevolence, okay, in 6 seconds. We'll wait. It's fine. Didn't notice. It's okay. No big deal. We'll overcap. Not looking for damage here. Malevolence. We gain stacks. Rain of Fire. There's 1 stack. But look, no more stacks are being accrued here with these Rain of Fires. Go into a Havoc, cast a Conflict Rate. We'll accrue 1 here because that window sort of closed. Like they're falling, but it's fine. See this one here? Watch. We'll reapply some more here. Reapply Withers. We'll gain 1 essential like stack here. Like there's 1 stack, then Rain of Fire again here. No stack. No stack. And the unfortunate part is that when you were casting these Rain of Fires back to back to back, like over and over and over in AoE before, it meant you could stack those Blackened Soul stacks so high that it was collapsing. It was becoming acute. It was, you know, reducing itself in stacks. But you could keep, excuse me, you could keep that stack count high enough. Once you go do it here, there's some stacks right there. Rain of Fire, no stacks. Build some more shards here. You could keep that stack count high enough where it would be continuously collapsing. Continuously, you know, doing more damage when it's ticking down, right? So for example, once again here, Rain of Fire, we gain stacks, then Rain here, we're on ICD. Rain again here, still on ICD. So it definitely hurts Destro Rain of Fire AoE. It hurts Destro, I mean, in single target when you're spamming spenders back to back, whatever, which you're doing a lot in your Malevolence window when you pop your Malevolence. Very briefly, we can look at AF here as well. If I can leave combat, turn off my pet. Maybe at some point we can change to AF. We'll find out. Maybe this year, maybe this week. We don't know. There we go. Cool. Love them testing this Warlock. So I'm gonna play Hellcaller. Don't worry about this, it's okay. We're gonna play Hellcaller AoE here, but it'll be the same thing in single target as it is AoE. So basically we're gonna go in here in single target. I'm playing Valentine here, don't worry about it. It's the same thing. I mean, I'll swap the singularity to make it easier on us. So say we're opening up in single target, I'll pop my Malevolence. You'll see 1 stack come in from the first Rapture cast, and the rest are, well, non-existent during probably the majority of a Rapture window, right? So we're gonna go in, Haunt, UA, Agony, Corruption. I'll drain a little bit here, whatever, some stacks. Then we'll cast a Singularity, cast a Soul Rot, Dark Lair. There's Wither, watch the stacks, here's permanent. There are my initial stacks. Rapture once, again a stack here. Then look at these Raptures here, nothing. 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 You don't gain stacks anymore. You just can't push it past that, you know, 7-8 stack window where it's, you know, collapsing essentially. And it's really, really disappointing because it makes Hellcaller feel much less exciting, much less impactful, nowhere near where it was. Because I mean, it's Wither damage that helps, that is a big part of Hellcaller, but it's also Blackened Soul. It's Wither maintenance, watching it go, you know, watch it collapse, watch it become acute, whatever, watch the stacks start falling, and then make sure to maintain the Withers. Is it incredibly hard to do? No, but it was part of the playstyle, and it made it fun, and this should not be, if this is a change it was intended, I'm hoping it's a bug. If this is an intended change, it should not be one that is made with 3 days till the raid comes out. This should be made during mid to late beta, and if it's deemed something that needs to be changed, you wait until 11.05, whatever. You can't change a class fundamentally this much with 3 days for the raid. You can come in and buff and nerf things, but you can't change like this much for the raid or the season in general, right? So we'll look at it in AoE. This is where it's a bit easier to tell, like, dang, this is pretty impactful. So we'll do this, go back to Vital Taint here. Once again, you'll see the dots go out, you see the opener go out, but then you'll see like that initial Rapture hit, and it will give everyone stacks. And besides that, second, third, fourth Raptures, won't get any stacks. I'm gonna wait for Dark Lair here in half a minute. It's fine, whatever. But yeah, and to point out here, Blackened Soul damage gives you stacks of Tormented Crescendo, which is instant cast Raptures. So while You can still get like 1 stack count off the initial Rapture you cast after Malevolence. You can't get those extra stacks, those 2 extra stacks per Rapture. So 2, 4, 6, you're missing 6 stacks. And all those 6 stacks could be a free TC proc. This is a nerf to single target, a nerf to AoE. This is a substantial nerf to Hellcaller across the board for both specs. So we're going to open up here, cast this Seed, cast a UA, cast a Vile Taint, Haunt it, whatever, Soul Rot, doesn't matter, it's fine. Pop Dark Alert, Malevolence, gain stacks here, Wither, or sorry, Rapture, first stack there, nothing, nothing, nothing. I'll gain some stacks here, because the ICD closed, then Rapture again, nothing, nothing, nothing. It just feels really bad, man. It's really disappointing, you know. So like I'm hoping this is just like an unintended bug that slipped through the cracks with the changes to Wither and Death's Embrace. Maybe they're trying to fix, you know, maybe they're trying to fix the pandemic part of Wither, because you can't pandemic Wither currently if it has no stacks on it, which is also awkward. That might have been what they were working on. It got twisted up in spaghetti code. I'm not really sure. But if it's not, this is a serious cry to please revert this change. Oh, they're still, yeah, because honestly, with this being the case, it hurts Hellcaller a good bit. If you want to make this change, I don't like it. We can make this change, but we make this change in 11.05 or 11.1 when we can tune other parts of the spec appropriately to still make Hellcaller competitive. Because honestly, at this point, this is a nerf in M+, this is a nerf in rating, this is a nerf everywhere. AF was close to being meta in M+, Hellcaller was. Not anymore. It'll still be decent, but it'll still be good, but it won't be as good. And there are other classes like Arcane Mage and Arms Warrior and other Demon Hunter, whatever else out there. Every Shaman spec that can do damage are probably better in general. So hoping it's reverted, hopefully it's a mistake, and hopefully we get some clarification on Monday, whether it's a bug or if it's not a bug, why the change was made, and hopefully some compensation for it. Because like I said, this hits more than just Wither. It hits TC, this hits Flashpoint, this hits rotational stuff. It hits a lot of things. So please, if this is intended change, please consider reverting it. Thank you. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you, I guess, maybe enjoyed the video in some kind of way, even though we got stealth nerf today. I'm hoping this is, like I said, an unintended bug and not an actual undocumented change. I feel like a change that, I know, a change this big, this close to the raid coming out would certainly be something you need to put a blue post out, not in some, like, you know, hotfix thread or whatever, like, you know, among all the classes, but like an individual, hey, Warlocks are getting changed because of this, and explain as to why. So I'm thinking it's likely a bug, hoping it's a bug, but honestly, like, AF is fine in the raid. I mean, it's good in plus, it's not meta, it's probably very close to being meta, but it's fine in the raid. We don't need a nerf, if anything. I mean, compared to like the other 7 or 8 classes that are higher than us, we need buffs, being honest. So this is unfortunate, but we'll see where it goes. Want to draw attention to it early on and go from there. So if you guys want any week wars add-ons on the video, Twitch, Discord, and website links down below. You can get it for free. And like always, for all support on Patreon, guys, thank you all a million times. Well, like always, I greatly appreciate it. I'm a little tired tonight. Sorry, I'm not as energetic, but yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you look at supporting on Patreon, should be a link up here, as well as down below in the video description. Now, unfortunately, today is Friday, or I guess Saturday. We likely won't find out if this is intended or not until probably Monday, which is the day before the patch comes out in the raid. But if it is, I would venture to guess probably try and fix it on Monday, at least try and elaborate on it somewhere. And I don't know. I want to draw attention to it as fast as possible. And hopefully, if it is a bug, it gets fixed fast because it needs to. The raid is here. So, and Dungeons, M0 and M+ will be soon too. So, thanks for watching, guys. Much love, and I'll catch you all again soon on stream. Peace.